coffee. Start recording. Okay, good on there, good here. Okay, I think we're good to go everywhere. I think the audio seems just fine. I think we should be good to go. I'm gonna see what the lag is. So right now I'm gonna say at 8. I should have went to 2, but whatever. 10 seconds. Okay. So we've got a little over. Okay, we got a little over about an 18-second lag, so that's not too bad. I'm pretty okay with that based on my footage. Let me grab some gloves. Let me get everything else set up the way I normally get everything set up, so we're good to go. It's chilly outside today, like a lot colder than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I knew it was going to snow, but it's definitely chillier than I'd like it to be. But it's winter, can't complain. I mean, I can. It's just silly to complain. Okay, so let's go. Right, I put my gloves. There's my gloves. I'm gonna stick my gloves on my hands because it's cold. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope you guys can hear me okay. I hope everything is well, hunky-dory and good, because it is on my end. It's another beautiful day in chaos paradise, like always. So we got roughly a lot of snow. No, we didn't get a lot of snow. We got some snow last night. I would say under an inch. But the temperature dropped yesterday. It was in the high 50s. Maybe maybe it reached all the way up into 60s. Or for those that live on the wrong side of the world, it was probably about 16 yesterday, and right now it's probably about 14 yesterday, and right now we're at about -8°C. So, or for those that are using real metrics, it's 20. It's about 20 outside right now, or you guys can see it up in the corner if you're following on X Firefly. So just chilly, cold, no complaints. Hi everybody on both channels. My ducks, they hear me, so as you can see, they're starting to run over this way because they just enjoy running towards me when they see me, because for some reason they think that I always carry food on me. So we got ducks everywhere. What's also cool is there's plenty of water everywhere too, so they're super happy ducks, because there's snow, which these ducks like eating snow, and there's water, so they're super happy about the water, and they also know it's feeding time, so that makes them even more excited. Let's do, since we're out here and we're getting ready to go in the barn, let's do a quick little look at how the swells and the ponds are doing after this heavy, crazy rain that we've had over the last day or so. So this pond is pretty much all the way filled up. My earthworks dam, if you notice, it has failed right here. So you can see where it has failed, but it's still holding water fairly well. So in the future, I'll have to address that. But Still holding water well. This one's these guys are holding water over here too, so great. Quick little recap on that for that. Ooh, we have a pretty good leak here. I wonder where this is coming from. Maybe it's just the rain. Okay. Whew. I bundled up good, but when the wind kicks through and wind whips through, it's still really, really chilly. So as soon as I walk in here, we're actually going to be covered up with a whole bunch of ducks, but we're going to walk in here anyways, and then the ducks will all follow, so we'll have a bunch of ducks here in the bunny barn, or here in the duck barn, in just a short period of time. I'm actually going to put a bunch of hay down today too, so that's going to be another part of the adventures, is making sure that everybody has plenty of hay. Okay, so this spins upside down. Oh, wrong direction. We're going to put this right here, so we're not blocking. Oh, well, it helps if I spin the camera around. I was like, why is it doing that? And it's because I don't have the camera spun around. There we go. Now you guys can see me. Now we're good to go. I'm going to move this over to this corner. Okay. And if the other camera's still working, you should be able to see me on the other camera now. And I'm going to clean up this so I don't have a mess underneath my feet. But now, as you can see, guys, this is what happens when I come in here. I end up having tons of ducks under my feet. So, oh no. I have it set up so I can't read what you just wrote, Luna. Oh, okay. Hi, Luna. You came into this channel now, too. Okay, cool. Thank you for jumping onto both channels. Ugh. There's a mess here, so I'm going to get this mess cleaned up first, just because otherwise they'll just knock it all over and it'll make life a lot more difficult. Cleaning this mess up. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know that they're both working. So today's episode, we are going to talk about my view on climate change. We're going to talk about 5G a little bit, because there's some pretty interesting stuff about 5G. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit about the Wu-Tang virus. And you're going to get to hear lots of ducks and chickens make lots of loud noises, and you get to look at some chicken legs. Because that rooster right there decides that he is standing right in front of the camera is the best place to be standing right now. Okay. It's a little nipply in here. In the future, days like this, I don't have any kerosene on me, but days like this is what I actually would turn on the kerosene heater, because the reason it feels a little cold in here today is because my humidity is high. My humidity is at 80%, which for the ducks and such isn't a big deal. But with the temperature of, it's 27 in here, so with the temperature of 27 with a high humidity, that's getting to the point where the chickens aren't entirely happy. Now I have some exhaust fans going on, but I would much rather have the humidity dropped a little bit lower today. The ducks are all leaving, so I don't know what they heard or what they saw, but okay, no worries. So, makes it easier for me. And I'm pointing out these little tips, guys. Just every once in a while you'll hear me talk about the little tips about having the chicken barn and why I pay attention to this kind of stuff. And this is just tips for those that maybe have barns and such in the future and just want to learn a little bit about that. So anyways, back to what our main subject matter is climate change. So if you're new to my channel and you haven't heard me talk about climate change before, I say yes, climate change is 100% real. We see climate change, extreme climate change, 4 times a year, at least where I live. And we call those seasons. We call those winter, spring, summer, and fall, where I will see ginormous switches in my climate. Sometimes it is so hot that we can barely be outside, and there's green leaves on all the trees. Other times of the year, all the leaves fall off the trees, and this white substance. So some of us call it like falling global warming, but some other people call it snow, and sometimes we have that falling down as well. And those are two extremely different climates and extremely different things. So that's where I fall under that. If you want to get more scientific, I actually do believe that we go through cycles, and cycles are very important. And since we have such little, small amounts of data for to actually look at and follow, I would say that we know so little about actually how the true cycles are actually working here. But I definitely believe that we are going through some type of cycles. Now, are humans affecting the climate? I'm going to say probably on a micro level, yes. Probably in your community, if you put up a lot of asphalt or you do a lot of silly stuff, you're probably going to affect the climate. But that's your climate, not the world's climate. I'll also probably add that if you're dumping a bunch of toxic dick everywhere, and that toxic dick is doing bad things to the environment, that might have a role too. But if you want to tell me that the CO2 is affecting the greenhouse gases and all that kind of stuff, I'm going to say that, one, you don't actually understand plants. And even if you're a scientist, that means you don't actually understand plants, because plants love CO2. And if you've ever had a greenhouse or you've ever tried to grow anything inside, you'll understand that the more CO2, the better your plant will be. The better your plant will be, the higher the yield. The higher the yield, the more food or product you'll be producing from that plant. So it's a win-win. So that's where that all comes from. Do I believe that we should try to lower our toxic gick footprint? Yes. Yes, I do. I think that if there's something that's bad and that has lots of negative or even a few negative things, that you should try to limit. You should try limiting the negative things that you're going to do, because I mean, if you can see it directly being bad and directly affecting things, then going and trying to make sure that it's not doing it on a regular basis is just a good thing. Like, do I like the idea of us having electric cars? I think electric cars are a great option. I think that if you live in an area where you can have an electric car and it financially makes sense for you to power your car with types of energy that you create, awesome. Do I think electric cars are the end all? Absolutely not. Will I own an electric car? Probably not, but I would love an electric tractor. I will tell you that. If I could get an electric tractor, I would be all for that, because my tractor's not going to go for far distances. I'd be able to put solar panels up on my small wind turbines or solar panels up on the roof of one of my buildings. And being able to recharge the batteries on a solar powered tractor, on an electric tractor, that would be pretty cool. So I just think everything has its place. I also hate fracking, but I love natural gas, and I understand that it's good to find that balance. So I do think we should be improving the way we frack, so that we're not putting so much toxic gick into the ground and into people's drinking waters. That being said, I think that if we can do this safely and it's not causing any future harm or any future damage to anything, I think that it's definitely a good idea to keep making sure that we have good, affordable, reliable energy. Also, I think it's important for us to be a steward of the land that we have. So if you've got a good piece of land and you can make sure that it's a little bit better by planting more trees or making sure that, you know, any of the damage that's done, because some of us humans, we've damaged property in the past, if you can find ways to improve that damage that other humans have done, then I think that's a really, really good thing, because it helps speed up nature being able to produce lots of really good stuff on that property. So it's a weird balance. I come from a background that was very environmentally friendly. Hey, Fresh, how's everything going? Fresh is a fellow West Virginian here, because this is one of the best states ever, because we still know how to actually get things done in this state. It might feel backwards a lot of the times, but sometimes the backwardness makes things function a little bit better. So that's where I go with that. I don't like, for example, I'm pro coal, but I'm really against mountaintop removal. I think that there's far better ways that we could extract coal than to have to blow up a mountain and have to destroy the scenery and have to destroy and all of the other issues that can go on with that. I think that as technology improves and as we become more and more intelligent, I think there's far better ways to be able to deal with being able to extract the coal. I also think if we use the coal more effectively, we wouldn't need to extract as much. Also, using the coal. Also, the fact is if we use the coal properly, we won't have to use as much, and so we can charge a higher price for it, a higher premium, and we can be using it completely as effective. Because one of the things that one of my friends pointed out to me. Thank you, Fresh. Thank you, Mark Boggs. Both of you, thank you so much for the ice cream. One of my friends pointed out to me that all coal is just solar energy that's just been trapped. That's just been trapped for us and stored more efficiently than we can currently store it. And that's a really interesting way to look at it. I like that concept. Again, though, I'm not a big fan of waste. I think that if we can find ways so we don't waste stuff, like personally, I hypermile my car so I can get the most gas mileage out of my car as possible. I also keep my car well maintained so that I'm getting the most efficiency. I'm getting the most efficiency and most performance out of the amount of gas that I currently put in it. And I think that is a responsible way to be dealing with not wasting a resource, which I'm still not sure if it's a finite resource. I'm not sure if there's just endless amounts of it or if there's only a small amount. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. Trees are great because, yeah, they're another great source of solar energy that we can burn or that we can build things with, or we can burn and then gasify. So we can, if processed another way, we can get double the energy out of them, or even burning them and using it as a fertilizer to grow other plants. So we just one of the biggest things I think we have is we don't efficiently use the resources that we're given here, and hence the reason it looks like we're doing it looks bad on paper, and it looks like we're doing lots of bad things, and we're not being as friendly as we could. Again, though, that's why you'll hear me refer to my toxic gick footprint instead of a carbon footprint. Because personally, my carbon footprint is very. I think actually, if I play with the little math and the little calculators, I have a negative carbon footprint, and I think that that's just ridiculously silly. That it gets to the particular point where you can have a negative footprint. And plus, I again, like we had that little talk earlier, I think carbon is such a good thing. And carbon as a generic term is so horrible as well. But I say toxic gick, and toxic gick is anything that is necessarily harmful for you, for the environment, or even just for the way of life. Like light pollution is light pollution is probably my biggest pet peeve on almost anything out there. I can't stand when companies, they leave on their lights at night. And people that have I'm afraid of the dark lights, those big, ginormous lights that stay on all night. Or if you just put your lights on a timer, or if you put your lights on something so that they go on and off, it keeps the circadian rhythm functioning. Yeah, absolutely fresh. You're right. Mother Nature provides us everything that we need. Actually, everything in a super abundance, too. Not even just to meet our needs, but to exceed our needs and to give us luxurious lifestyles. We just have to use it efficiently, and we just have to be responsible with the way we use it and not abuse it, and make sure that we're continuing on with that cycle. So when we use something, we make sure that its byproduct is making things a little bit better instead of making things worse. Like a great example here in the chicken coop. Um, we've got, I feed all my chickens, and then I collect all their poop and their hay, and instead of viewing it as a waste product or something that is just a hassle, I put it in my gardens, and they make spectacular, awesome fertilizer, and things get even better than they were before, and that is what is spectacular. And so they make me fertilizer, so I don't have to go buy any. I mean, how great is that balance? That is just, man, it's just so cool. I'm going to spin you guys around so we can see what's going on over on this side. Yeah, it's still good enough. But yeah, light pollution is definitely one of my biggest pet peeves. Absolutely. Fresh, you are so on it today. Your laziness is not an excuse, but a lot of times we use it as an excuse. And it is very irresponsible of just people in general, especially us that are very intelligent. It's very, very irresponsible of us to say the reason I want to do XYZ is because I'm just lazy. When in reality, we could be doing awesome stuff and creating really cool stuff, providing luxurious lifestyles for lots of people, and not having to do some of the craziness and some of the and be able to use things far more efficiently than we currently use. So let's spin back around here. I'm gonna have to get water later today, so we're gonna go do a water run in just a bit. But we're gonna go to the bunnies. We're gonna go to the bunnies next, I think. I forgot my egg container. I need to be collecting eggs. I've been slacking at collecting eggs the last few days, and I have a handful of eggs in here that I need to be collected. And I need to make sure everybody has got enough food, and then we'll go get some water in just a bit. But right now, we're going to go head over and say hi to the bunnies. I'm putting my gloves on because it is cold for me. I'm not sure what the temperature says up in the top corner. I think it says 21. Fresh, yes. And you're absolutely correct. Those of us that have high intelligence and those of us that understand this, we are definitely the ones that need to be making sure that we educate those around us and give the advice that is needed for those that maybe have chosen not to go to school, or maybe have chosen to drop out of school and protest because they are a little angry 16-year-old girl, or 17-year-old now. Uh-oh, we have escaped bunnies. And that is something that I'm going to have to address now. Because, like we said, every day is a crazy fun adventure here in the barn. Okay, hold on. I'm probably going to hit a lag here because all of a sudden I'm in that gap. Let me see if I can fix this before we lose cell signal. Okay, we're back to full bars. Yes, exactly, Mark. Exactly. Okay. Let's see. I'm double checking to make sure we don't hit lag, because I noticed I just had a drop in bar, so I must have hit that little sweet spot. Doesn't look like we're lagging because it looks like I'm back on the full FPS. So we should be good to go. Awesome. Okay, let me plug this in. So I don't know if you guys can see here, but the bunnies busted through the gate here. That also includes the. That also means that the baby bunnies also did this as well, because they probably followed their friend out. So now we have to figure out, if I was a baby bunny, where would I go? Where would I go to? That is the question that we have today. So let's while I'm finishing up the bunny barn and such, let's talk a little bit about 5G. So, and just let's get some total clarification, just so you know, 5G. So we're all on the same page. 5G just means 5th generation, because it depends on where you're at, what country you're living in. It depends on what megahertz and microhertz and everything that they're choosing to put that network on. So that's important. Yes, loose bunnies. The loose bunny search. Like, where in the world's Carmen Sandiego, except for where in the world are these silly little bunnies? And they're around here someplace. I'll find them in just a minute. But thank you so much for the lemon, Hillary. Okay, right now I don't see them, so let's get everybody fed, and then we're going to go on the search for them. Anyway, so 5G. So I have some major issues with 5G. I think that it is I think our current plan of action, and especially with the variety of megahertz that I see, I'm good. Not too much, just in here doing some bunny cleaning. Hillary, what's up with you? So now, one other thing I don't like about 5G is I don't like how small, and how they're going to have to set up a bunch of little micro areas. And another thing a lot of people don't realize, because I've already seen it, got it from some of my friends in Florida, and I've already seen it start happening, is if you rent one of the modems from your service provider, they also they leave a public Wi-Fi turned on part that's a subset of your router, and so that they're actually going to be using that for the 5G. So because they're going to need a bunch of small little routers, especially in city areas, and so that is something that concerns me, because as a hacker, I know that if a device, even if they say it's separated, as a device, if they leave something on it that's open so other people can access it, then that means it can be exploited. And I say the same thing with anything even like Alexa's and all the other silly computers that you talk to. There's always an exploit there. And while I may not know how to do that exploit, I have friends that definitely know how to do that exploit and will take advantage of it anytime they possibly can, because, well, in the hacker world, it's just fun to find exploits and exploit the heck out of exploits. Right now, the only exploits that I explore is in video games, where we glitch everything. That being said, that's one of the concerns of 5G, is convincing everyone to turn on their devices. The other problem I have with 5G is I don't like the size of the waves. And everything that I'm reading from the waves that, depending on which telecommunication company you're talking about, the size of the waves that they're using, they seem to, I really have issues with what they're going to do. I think they're too small. I think they needed to have enough research. Maybe they don't directly affect us humans, but there's so many other animals and bees and plants and such that I absolutely see the potential of being affected and abused. And that definitely concerns me with that. I also do not like the idea of the Internet of Things. I don't like the idea of everything interconnected because, again, as a hacker, if everything is interconnected, then that means that I can get way more information about you or give up way more information about me than some people may know. And that's all things before we even start talking about the health issues that could come about with 5G. If those of you aren't aware of this or you've never experienced this, think about where you carry your cell phone. And if you carry your cell phone in your pocket, have you ever had that sensation that your cell phone's ringing in your pocket, even though it's not actually physically ringing? If you have, that's actually a small, tiny bit of nerve damage that's actually been functioning. And again, it may not be something that's super big to worry about on just a very small scale, but on another scale, it could be something that we really need to be worrying about. Again, we don't know enough information to be able to answer that question, and that's what I believe is rather scary. Because I don't like the idea when a technology or something comes out and we do not currently know the health benefits or the health declines. I've been talking with some folks. Full Metal is a good example. We've been talking about how maybe this coronavirus and 4G could be interrelated. Now you might say, oh, that sounds really crazy, but let me explain. What if this is a genetically modified disease, virus, and what if it's got some particles in it that's able to withstand that's able to be triggered by the 5G? And what if this is just a test run to see if we can embed people with this? Now again, total conspiracy, total just spitballing out their crazy ideas. It's a what if question, because with this what if question, you can't prove it. The other thing about the 5G, because we know China is pretty much mostly 5G. They've bragged about that, and they've released that about that their country is really functioning on a lot of 5G. What if this is also a way to train AI? And we know 5G is going to be a way to use to train AI, so AI becomes more efficient at what it does. I mean, every time if you talk to Alexa or if you do anything with Alexa, all you're doing is every time you talk to Alexa and Alexa helps you, or OK Google or Siri, what you're really doing is you are actually training you're training your AI. If that's something that's cool, if you're OK with that, that's fine. What I like right now is I still have the choice to not use AI, and so I'm not going to. If the choice for me is to not talk to my computer and to not talk to my phone, I'm going to avoid talking to it. Besides talking to you guys, and I have one app that helps me. It's like a secretary app, so I talk, it records what I say, and it turns it into words. But I don't have to even be online for that to work, so it's not actually capturing. It's not, from my knowledge of really digging into the software on the program, it's not actually capturing and storing any of my voice and being used outside of my phone. But besides those are the only two reasons I talk to my phone, is to talk to you guys and to help me dictate and help me whatever that's called, that what a secretary does. Dictation, I think is the word. Other than that, I don't want to talk to my phone for directions. I don't want to talk to my phone for any other reason, because, well, I don't need to. Okay. Okay. Those guys are good. Those guys are good. Everybody in here has now got food. I'm going to step outside over here for just a second. I'm going to look over here, but I will be, you'll be able to still see this screen, but I'll be right back in just a second because I need to peek over this way, and I need to have both hands when I peek over this way because it'll make things a little bit easier. Because what I'm looking for as I'm out here is the perk of the snow is I'm looking for baby bunny trails. Because if I can follow where the baby bunnies are going, I can figure out where they're hiding at, which I think I can. I'm pretty sure I now. I'll bring the phone with me in just a second. I just want to make sure that I've got what I'm looking for, where I need it to go, and everything's good to go. I need to make sure I pour this little bit of water out right here. Because I'm trying not to get this water to freeze in this bucket. I'll show you guys when I swing back around. So, lots of things. Lots of things. But I think I found where the baby bunnies are going. So let's go see if we can catch them. It doesn't look like they've been out for very long either, which is good. Okay, let's back to, let me get my gloves on. Because as being out there, my hands got really chilly. And the gloves are sitting right here. Okay, so on to the baby bunny search, because I think that they're hiding over down this way. Okay. So if I carefully look on the ground here, I can see some bunnies were hopping some stuff over there. But I see little baby bunny trails. Like if you can see them going this way, I see little baby bunny trails. They did some hopping there. They hopped here. We got some craziness hopping right here. And because I'm walking here, we get a one-shot deal on this. So, and I see some bunny trails here and some bunny trails here. And I see a bunch of bunny trails. I see a bunch of bunny trails right through here. So my guess is the baby bunnies are hiding right under there, which would be a really good spot. I see one was hanging out right there. If you can see on top of that, we see that there was a bunny hanging out right there. So got one other bunny trail I want to follow. Got some bunny hopping. Got some bunny hoppings right there as well. But there's another bunny trail that I'm gonna follow. Hunting rabbits. Okay, so we've got some splits here. We got some bunnies that went this way, some went this way, and some went this way. But none of these look like baby bunnies. Everything here looks like bigger bunny trail, bigger bunny hops. These are always fun when you see them like that. That's always a fun bunny hop spot. Okay, so this is where the bunnies cut through right through here, but there's no baby bunny trails. So I'm guessing that the baby bunnies went underneath the hay barn, which is a really good idea for baby bunnies. I will give them that. So let me get Sylvia a little bit of food because I just noticed she sees me out and she wants to know why I'm walking around here and not giving her food yet. But as soon as that occurs, we will get her some food and we will do some more bunny searching. So I'm gonna stick you right here. Absolutely, Mark. That's what I was thinking. So get to look at the a duckish cam right now while I'm getting Sylvia a little bit of food, and then we're gonna go continuous on our bunny search because I think I know where they're at, and it'll work out really well if they are where I think they are because they'll be easier to catch there. I'm kind of worried about the little baby bunnies. I'd like to get them caught for the evening because we still have a handful of cats around, and the baby bunnies have not quite learned how to not get eaten by cats yet. So it would be very nice. It would be very nice to make sure that I can get them and put them back and reconnect their house, their bunny house in the proper manner. Okay, and I'm back. Yes, doesn't it make everything look so much cleaner? That's what I really like. So that being said, my yard should be, I shouldn't have to use snow to make everything clean, but right now it is. Right now I do. Let's just be honest. I'm not going to play any games here. My yard's a mess because I've got so many different chores and I was slacking at stuff. Okay, so what we're doing here, for those that are wondering, is I think that some of the bunnies are hiding underneath this little area right here. And so I am going to pull up the carpet, this little carpet area I have here, as soon as I can figure out where the edge is. And I'm going to see if I can get in. I can see if I can get under here and get to some of these bunnies. Okay, I don't see any of them right now. So we're going to have to come back and check in a little bit. I'm going to do that. Get everybody fed and continue on with that. So let me put this right here for just a second. Sorry guys, I blacked it out. We'll unblack it out like right there. Perfect. I'm putting my gloves on because wet hands in very cold temperatures is not very fun. So, okay. We're gonna look one other place real fast because I do see a few more bunny spots. And since I do just want to check everything very well first, it's only proper to make sure that I look in all the little bunny spots. For those that are just jumping in and want to know what I'm doing, is we are bunny hunting. Some of my bunnies decided that they were going to escape, and some of those bunnies just happened to be the baby bunnies. And I would feel a lot more secure if I had them inside the barn than if they were just hoppy around here, not in the barn. But this might be something that I have to come back in just a little bit after they've done some fun adventuring and they realize that the food is back in the barn. To convince them to come back. There's Miss Sylvia. She's eating. She says hi. Oh wow, let me get that spot right there. Okay, made it better. Cool. There's Sylvia eating her hay or heating her corn. She says hi. Under the broken hay barn, let's see if there's any bunnies here. And there is not, but they must have a secret little hiding spot under here because a bunny just came in here and disappeared. So, okay. Either way, no worries. Putting my glove back on so you guys get to watch the snow while I'm doing that. Okay. Let me check the water in here again. I don't think I have enough water for everyone, but we will double check here in the bunny barn. It's another bunny that's not supposed to be out, but always finds a way out. Thank you for the lemon, Hillary. these guys some water now. I do have a water jug, great, and it's not completely frozen, which is also spectacular. We're gonna give everybody some water, because that's what they want. So, oh, I absolutely love snow. Snow is probably one of my favorite things. I love this time of year because I love the snow. Why is... Here, you want to see why Orange Julius is out, Lisa? Ugh. Because they dug out. They found a way and they dug completely out. Right now, we were on the bunny hunt, Lisa, because the baby bunnies also got out. So we were trying to figure out how to get to the... We were all on the quest to find the baby bunnies. Right now, the quest has failed, but I think they're underneath the hay barn, the one hay barn. But that's where we're at the moment. Oh, here's exactly what I was looking for, friends. Perfect. I was smart enough this time to leave this in here. So, fail. Hate when I fill up a water jug and then pour it on the ground. Anyways, what we were talking about, let's go talk about 5G again. So, in general, I actually think cell signal and EMF and all that kind of stuff, I think we're going to find out later in life that it's actually really bad for us. And I think that people that are choosing now to have, their bedroom set up like a Faraday cage, or people that are going to make their house so that it's not so it's EMF resistant, folks that are choosing to turn off their Wi-Fi at night, folks that are just going to hardwire their house and such. I think we're going to find out that that is going to be that was a really, really smart tactic. I am definitely making sure that Ducky realizes all of the attention that Ducky needs. For those that don't know, Ducky's our handicapped duck. His foot didn't develop properly, so he mostly stays in the barn, but he likes extra attention. We'll be going into the barn in just a minute because, like I said earlier, guys, I definitely need to make sure I give everybody a little bit more hay in there because the humidity is higher than I'd like it to be at the moment. So putting some hay down will definitely help solve those issues. But going back to EMF, we'll be getting an EMF reader. Why we're saying trying to reconnect. Let's see if that does anything. I'm going to wave because I want to make sure that it didn't completely screw up. When it said trying to reconnect, it doesn't screw up my feed. Because, like I said, I'm in one of these no man lands right here, where the way it's a cell phone bubble. Okay, I can see my wave on the screen, so I know it didn't lock up. Great. We're in one of these. Well, I'm actually in a Wi-Fi bubble area right here, where so many towers are crossing over, and it sometimes can affect my cell signal. Which again is something that definitely concerns me with my animals and such too, because I'm less concerned here in the bunny barn because of how much issues I have with cell signal and Wi-Fi and such in here. But it is something that I think about, and I haven't noticed anybody getting sick from it. So that's a really good thing. But I do wonder. Like, I do think that the main reason I lost all of my bees this year was more related to them messing with the cell towers than it actually was with anything that I've done. That's why I will be building a bee house simply designed for them this year. I think I'll get between 3 to 4 hives. I'm not sure yet, but that's kind of my goal and my plan of action. Okay, water, 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 and water. So we are good to go. Let me grab my gloves, friends, and let's head on over to the ducks and the chicken barn so I can hook everybody up with water. Since I gave everybody food, it's now time for them to guys get a little bit of water. I did feed Sylvia. I remembered to feed Sylvia this time, so we're good to go with that. So that's all good. So all in all, it's good so far. Oh yeah, no, the Dan, I will be doing the whole entire project. If I don't live stream the entire project, I actually will be videotaping. So from this particular point on this year, or actually starting from earlier in the year, every project that I'm going to do, if I don't live stream it, I'm going to actually do videos of it, and I'll have links to all the videos and how everything works and such. So that is my goal. That way, if all of you guys have questions, or if any of you guys have questions, we can watch the videos together. Maybe I'll even do some, when I do get the videos and such, I'll do some Q&A. We'll set up a Discord. We'll watch the videos with a Q&A. And that way, if anybody just needs any more detailed, like I wasn't clear enough in the videos, I'll be doing some of those again in the future too. I just have to get through winter. And as soon as we get through winter and I can really start focusing on my gardens and some of the other chores, that'll probably be middle of April, just to be honest, because that's how long winters happen here. But once that goes into place, I'll probably talk about it a lot. But the idea is I really just want to use this to be able to teach more stuff. I want to slowly evolve this particular part of this show into more of an educational show than just us chit chatting. No, that's cool, Dan. It's my experiment. I'm not sure if it's gonna work yet, but it's the next step I'm going to take to try to see if it actually helps solve some of the problems that I've been having. So I am more than happy to share it, because I got the idea came from me when I was telling people about my bee problem, and they turned me on to this particular guinea. They turned me on to trying this tactic, and so I'm kind of excited to see if this actually does work. Because if it does, how spectacular will this be for all of us beekeepers out there and all of us that are thinking about getting into bees? Anything that can give the bees an extra little leg up and a little head start is going to be spectacularly awesome, what I can say. But yeah, so I think the 5G is definitely messing with the bees and is affecting things in ways that I think currently we don't understand enough. And that does scare me, because if it's doing this under what we have now, when we start adding more and more of these towers and more of this into different areas, I see the potential of problems just growing and growing. And if it's doing this to the bees, what is it really doing to us too? So I'm still pricing it out. I'm still waiting to get yeah, smart meters. I don't have a smart meter on my house, but I do think smart meters are definitely things that are issues. I'm beginning, and I've talked about this before. I'm just trying to save up for it. I'm getting a EMF reader. The one I want is if anybody's interested, I'll put it in the Discord. The EMF meter that I'm gonna buy, just because after doing a lot of research, it said it was one of the best. It's about just under $400. So that's why it's going to take me a little bit to save up to get to it, because with $400, there's a lot of cool stuff I could be doing for the chickens. But I do think that this, for my personal health, is definitely going to be a tool that I can use, and a tool I can share with the people around me, and share with some of my friends, or share with anybody that needs to use it, so we can get that out. But that's a tool. And with that EMF meter, I'm really going to get good ideas on where the EMF pollution and such is happening in the variety of different areas. So that's something that I'm very interested about getting and very interested to learn more. And then once I do that, I've got some different steps that I plan on taking depending on what my numbers and such show up to be, because if the numbers show up to be too absolutely crazy, then there'll be some different steps that I'll need to take. One of the simple steps that a lot of you guys can take right now if you're worried about EMF in your bedroom is it's a very cheap tactic, and it does a fairly good job. It will at least slow down the EMF that's coming into your and the radiation coming into your room. Is those emergency blankets, those silver emergency blankets. If you put those up on your walls and you use those and you put those up, that'll do a fairly that will help. How about that? I've read some different percentages on how much it helps, but I'll just put it this way. Even if it only helps 10%, which I know it helps more than 10%, but even if it only helps 10%, that's 10% more, that's 10% less radiation that you're experiencing, which I think is definitely is a step in the proper direction. So we're heading out here to get some more water because we're running low on water in the bunny barn, running low on water in the chicken barn today. So we should be good to go. I'm gonna get some more water on this chilly, wet day. There's something else I mentioned. Oh, so with my daily Wuhan Wu flu, there's nothing new, super major that I've seen. Nothing that's grabbed my attention. Um, if you follow my regular updates, you'll know that the last couple days we've seen a lot of stuff. Today is is actually a fairly quiet day in the Wuhan flu front. The biggest thing I think I read today is they were talking about possibly quarantining a few other cities because there is some native outbreaking of the flu in some of the other cities. I haven't confirmed from any of my sources that they have quarantined any of the people in the other cities yet. I just heard that they're talking about it. So, so it's just interesting. Nothing that I consider in the update. If you I do update the numbers every night on my Instagram. So if you want to follow me right now, that's about all I'm using my Instagram for. It's X Dr. Firefly on Instagram. If you want to see the farm Instagram stuff, follow Lisa. Hers is Mavis, Mavis hen, as in a hen, and the letter X. That's her Instagram. But mine right now is just talking about the Wu flu and just updating numbers and such. So I don't know if you can hear that in the distance, but the snow machines are on, so they're making some snow up there at the ski resort. So it's a cool, strange sound here this time of year when they're doing that. And it's also, as Dan pointed out earlier, it's also very beautiful because everything looks so clean, like a nice blanket covers everything. And it reminds me on how in the spring I really need to clean up some of my messes or some of my projects and try to keep it as nice looking as it looks in the winter. So because it's cold outside, it's another one of those days that my phone the battery is being eaten very quickly. So we're gonna go water everyone, but I'm not sure like how long we will make it through the watering because we're at a 12 now. But maybe so. Maybe we'll be just fine. I think there's one of the bunnies I'm looking for. No, that's not. I do have to head out here later on this afternoon and try to find the bunnies that snuck out. so I can re-put them back in. Lots of noises through the vestibule, and here we are, back into the barn. You guys get to look at the ceiling. Okay, let's get this water, get the guys the rest of the water, and so yeah, guys, again, thanks for everyone that's jumping in and chit-chatting with me. Probably tonight for sure, I'll be doing some more video gaming. It'll most likely be some more Fortnite tonight, just because me and my sister's been rocking out the Fortnite, and we're waiting for some other cool games. Or really, what I'm waiting for her is, I'm hoping that she gets GTA soon, because I'd like to play some more on there. That's kind of how I spend some of the late evenings, just kind of a cool down, a little bit of relaxing. After I'm done doing all my farm chores and done doing some research on the variety of cool things that I want to research, we sit down and play. The offer's still up to anyone. If anybody out there in TV land wants to play any video games with us, we play on PlayStation. X Dr. Firefly, of course, is my PlayStation name. Friend me, join us. We will do fun things, unwind, chit chat, just enjoy our time together. It's just a fun way to do a little bit, build community, play silly games, enjoy life a little bit. So, got a little bit more time to go. Water. Okay. Well, friends, everybody is watered up. Sylvia's fed. Chickens are fed. I'm going to come back out here in a little bit and put some hay down. But I'm going to head back to the house now. We're going to start heading back to the house because, like I said, I'm watching the slowly phone tick down. Hilarice, thank you so much for the lemon. You guys and all of your lemons and ice creams and all the other donations that you make through that you get with the crypto. You guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you guys a whole lot for doing all of that. So So yeah, if you can see, it's a snowy winter wonderland right now. Awesome amount of snow falling. I like it right now. It's almost getting the whiteout stage. Some of my favorite times to be outside. Like I said, I'm going to throw this phone back up on the charger and then probably head back out in just a little bit and get some hay down on the floors, everyone. So, well, friends, thanks again for following me on this fun adventure. It was wonderful having you guys come along. We had some good conversation, some good times. Anyways, friends, I am Justin, the Baron, X Dr. Firefly, whatever you guys would like to call me. I'm signing out for the evening. You guys have yourself a wonderful rest of the day. Till tomorrow. Adios.